Ready.
I was ready.
Did I go too soon? I'm sorry.
One.
Welcome, sports fans, to the latest S&M production of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the sports nerd joins forces with his three charismatic co-hosts, who are a select group of sports nerds with attitude that are known in Nerd Nation as the Ramp Pack. We are four of the most loudmouth, smack-talking nerds around, coming at you with some sick rants, which may be just enough to make you pee your pants. So listen up, Nerd Nation. Let's rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder, he is the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show. Coming to you live, straight out of Lakeland, Florida, Scott, the Sports Nerd Right.
What up, everybody?
Scotty! Scott! Oh, it's Scott!
The hell was that?
All right.
Good God.
Yeah, we gotta have some fun, bro.
Hello,
Gotta have some
everybody.
fun,
Welcome again to another live show of the Sports Nerd. I am Scott Wright, the Sports Nerd.
Well, you sound live, all right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he sounds
You're
thrilled to
feeling
be here.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled to be here on this, leading up to Game 3 of what's going to be a shit show of a hockey series. But anyway,
I told you, man, he's gonna start hedging his bets.
anyway, joining me are the usual cast of characters, my co-hosts and often guys just like to slam me against a wall on a weekly basis. Mr. Ken Koslow, Mr. John G. Olson, and of course, Elliot Big E Lamba. Gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome, and let's get this over with.
Good. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Happy Father's Day, and to all the men that their women calls them daddy. You too, big boy. Happy Father's
Happy Sugar Daddy Day.
Happy Sugar Daddy Day. There you go.
All the mothers who play the dual role.
Yes, mothers who play the dual role, of course. Absolutely. Oh God.
They get 2 days worth of celebrations.
Yeah, man. So what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. I'm just,
Now waiting for Game 7 of the NBA and championship to start tonight.
Yeah.
Oh wait
Yeah.
a minute, it's over.
Oh, wait a minute.
Where's
Night.
Where's Clarky?
Night. Yeah.
I know he had plans for that parade. He's always got parade plans for Boston teams.
Right?
Only one problem: they can't get a parade going.
No.
Oh.
The Golden State Warriors sunk those duck boats.
No, Steph Curry sunk them.
That's true too.
Okay, Steph Curry right now to me
There's Andrew Wiggins.
is more of a GOAT than LeBron James. Okay.
Well, after putting up a goose
Totally
egg the game before from 3-point land, he went crazy in Game 6. So
Look, if Boston doesn't have a lights out fourth quarter in Game 1, Golden State would have swept their ass. Okay. I'll
put it out there. You said it, man. I'm going to say it. Steph Curry deserves that Mount Rushmore much more than LeBron. This is why.
he's got 4 rings.
Steph
with the same
changed the
team.
game. Steph completely changed the game. LeBron, good shooter, good passer, distributor, whatever, but that's nothing new, right? Steph changed it where you have to defend completely differently. The game is now outside the arc. Steph is amazing. He's amazing. Big shout out to Del Curry.
And I basically put up a meme that says that he has the same amount of rings as LeBron. He's done it in less time. He's going to have a better finals record. He swept LeBron once. Okay.
And he's been on the team that drafted him.
He didn't move teams, and he's played with lesser help. Because LeBron has gone and played with some of the all-stars.
Yep.
Okay. And
He's made sure of that.
I'm just saying, if LeBron is in the GOAT conversation, then Steph Curry needs to be in the GOAT conversation. Okay. because
Question
he
about it.
finally got he finally got his finals MVP.
Yep.
That's the only thing that was missing from his resume.
And he didn't care about that because he got a ring. He said that in his press conference after the game.
And the emotion that he showed afterwards.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
That was
with
just
you.
crude. That was just crude, raw emotion. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is a humbling experience for somebody, because this is a guy who was on top of the world for 5 years in a row that they made it to the NBA Finals, and then all of a sudden that world came crashing down for a couple, 2 or 3 seasons.
That was our fault. Sorry.
They were 2
Yeah.
years. 2 years ago. Well, I mean, they lost in the final. I'm talking about when Klay Thompson got hurt.
That was the Raptors series.
They went worst
Yep.
team in the NBA.
Yep.
Bounced in the first round last year, all the way to an NBA title this year. And to me, that's just. And again, they didn't have the talent around him.
2 years ago, they only won like 6.
Yeah.
That LeBron had when he was in Miami. I mean, LeBron had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving in Cleveland.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? True, Steph had Kevin Durant for how do you think Kevin Durant feels today?
Nobody cares how Kevin Durant feels.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Durant cares how he feels, because he probably feels like shit. Knowing that he freaking left the
Probably
team where they could have probably still won championships without Klay
I
Thompson.
think Kevin Durant kills the chemistry on that team if he stays in Golden State.
Look, they won 2 titles. They won 2 titles with him, and he lit it up. They got the MVP in both those series, right?
Yeah.
So it's
I
not
still
that
think with his new
Kevin.
attitude, he
It's
kills
not
the
that
chemistry.
Kevin Durant would wreck the team. Just Kevin Durant would know his place on that team, and he's not. You know, he wants to be the man.
Right.
Okay, but winning that championship in Golden State, he wasn't the man. He had other guys around him to help him, and he was in the if I can't beat him, join him situation. You know, he was with the Thunder. He was the man in OKC until Harden left, Westbrook left, then he left,
Mm-hmm.
or he left and then Westbrook left, whichever way it goes. But then he tried to get slick and go to Brooklyn, where he wasn't welcome. As a New Yorker, I can say that very, very truly. And he brought Kyrie with him. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't work out. Because, again, both those guys left teams that wound up in the NBA Finals this year.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, where's Clark at? Come on, man. Show up, please. Hey, did you guys – how do you think Charles Barkley feels right now?
What was Barkley's
Wonder how that tastes.
You don't remember what Barkley said one day?
No.
He said if the Golden State Warriors beat this Boston Celtics team, I'll eat a bowl of horse shit. Live.
Wow.
That's
I'm
tasty.
kidding.
And he's got it on record. He's got it on tape, too.
It's on record. Bon appetit, Charles. I want to see it. If you're a man of your word, I want to see
What I
it.
think was most
Matter of
impressive.
fact, I want to
was
see the
fact
ball
that
filled
Golden
directly
State-
from the horse's ass.
Yeah.
I don't want none of this fucking. Oh, here's a bowl of shit.
Nobody wants to see that,
And it-
Elliot.
and
No, nobody
Why
wants
not,
to see it.
dude?
Oh, God.
Why not? It would serve him right. Because Barkley
Well,
and Kendrick Perkins also got freaking torched by the Golden State Warriors when he said Steph Curry wasn't going to do anything in Game 6. Well,
what I think
Steph
was most
Curry's
impressive
his
is
ass.
the fact that Golden State won the last 2 games at TD Garden and won both of them by double digits.
Well, they won
It
all
wasn't-
their games by
it-
double digits.
Just
As a matter of
about,
fact, every game was a double-digit win for either team. I think that could be
last,
something.
I know the last 3 weren't.
You know, but again, if you take away that fourth quarter
This was no fluke.
where Boston went lights out in that fourth quarter of Game 1, I don't think I think that series would have been a sweep.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry,
I
but
think it would have been 5
Jason
games.
Tatum just ain't that guy. Jason Tatum ain't that guy. Everybody was like trying to blow Jason Tatum up everybody's ass. And he just ain't that guy. He choked when it mattered most. You know, and that's not what, you know.
Everyone said that, right? Like, oh, he's just young, he's like that. And I'm sitting there thinking when the Raptors won, we had Pascal Siakam, we had Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell. All those guys didn't choke. None of those guys.
No, they rose up to the occasion because they followed Kawhi. You know, they picked up on it on his championship vibe. You know what I'm saying? There was nobody on Boston with a championship vibe.
Well, Kawhi was the leader of that team, John, from the get go, and he embedded
Who's the leader of the
mentality in those guys to get them over the top. And
who's the leader of the Celtics?
Nobody knows.
Exactly. There is no leader. Who's the leader of Golden State?
Leader.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Take your pick. It goes, there's a pecking order. Steph, Clay, Draymond.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, go up and down. Like, even Iguodala, man. I mean, like,
in the era of
Wiggins had a good series too now. Wiggins,
of course, because Toronto represent, of course.
Andrew
and so
Wiggins,
did, so did Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Jordan
Poole.
I'm thinking of the actor, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins in Game 5 went crazy because Steph wasn't hitting his threes, and then Wiggins just took over the game.
Yeah, well, it was in Golden State, so he rose to that occasion. Yeah.
Boston didn't have anybody could do that. Or
in this era of the big three, it's like I explained to my cousin when he said he thought the series was going to be more competitive. Look, the big three for Golden State is Curry, Thompson, and Green.
Yeah.
And those guys have been there, done that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, but Marcus Smart, the reigning defensive player of the year, didn't really show up. Couldn't stop Steph Curry. Okay. Not that many people can. Jason Tatum was inconsistent, and Jaylen Brown just couldn't make up for the inconsistency of both those guys.
Yeah.
So
Jason Tatum
they
became
have
the first.
Their big three doesn't have that experience.
Jason Tatum became the first player to turn the ball over 100 times.
100 times in the
100.
playoffs. Over 100. Yep.
Not good.
No, that's not the kind of record you want to be setting. You know what I'm saying?
That was the entire Celtics thing is they kept turning the ball over time and time again, and Golden State took advantage of almost every one of them.
Yeah, and the thing is that's because Golden State has that championship pedigree.
Yep.
That's what makes the difference in a series like
Austin
Golden State made it to where they made it because you know what? They could have lost to teams like Memphis. Memphis ain't no slouch anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? With John Morant, they ain't no slouches. Denver's no slouches. They beat some pretty good damn teams.
I'll go
But
better.
it's that nucleus, that championship nucleus that you just can't overcome.
I'll give you one better. The Dallas Mavericks gave the Golden State Warriors a better series than the Celtics did.
Yeah, I think so. But there's where you have a problem with Dallas Mavericks too. We know who their leader is, but they don't have a true big three.
No, not yet.
They don't have a supporting cast for Doncic. You know what I'm saying?
We're working
He
on
has to do it all on his own, pretty much. So, again, the teams that know how to win in these situations win in these situations. The players that know how to win in these situations win in these situations. And that's what Golden State did. They used their pedigree and their experience to overwhelm the Celtics after that game one. You know? So, but congratulations to Golden State. I chose the lesser of two evils because I can't stand either team. And don't get me wrong, the only reason I can't stand Golden State is because of the mouth that
is Draymond Green.
Yeah. I put him in the same category as Barkley and Perkins and guys like that just talk too fucking much. But you got to give the man his due. He showed up in that last game and he shut fuckers down.
Welcome to the Golden State Warriors Invitational at the end of the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? That there's something to be said about that. And the bottom line is that when those three play together, it doesn't matter who else is on the team.
If they're healthy, yes. If they're all healthy, yes.
If those three are healthy,
they're all clicking, nobody touches them.
Nobody touches Golden State. No. And Stephen Curry just proved that he's like, if not the best, at least in the top 3 of point guards all time.
He is the best outside shooter I have ever
seen. The best pure shooter ever in the NBA. I mean, you to put the Ray Allens and guys like Steve Kerr and all that up, they don't even match up. And those guys were great shooters.
Yeah, Larry Bird's a great shooter, and he's better than Larry Bird head over heels.
But anytime you can pull up from 35 and hit 3.
Oh hell, he's shooting from the parking lot, and he's swishing them all.
As soon as he drives up to the frickin' the arena, he's shooting them.
I've never seen anyone do that. That is unbelievable.
No, he's
as soon as he crosses the timeline, it's going in.
Yeah, it's going in, and he can hit it from anywhere on the floor too.
Mm-hmm.
In any situation. I mean, he went cold a couple games there, but when it mattered, because they needed that game 4 in Boston when they were down 2-1.
Right.
And Steph Curry single-handedly took that game over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was hurt too.
They needed Poole and Wiggins in game 5 because he had an off game.
Right.
And that's fine. Eventually you got to step it up. Other guys got to step it up too. But again, game 6, they didn't want to come back home. I mean, it's nice to win in front of your crowd, but they didn't want to have to fly back to Golden State to play another game. And Steph Curry made sure that was the case. I mean, he was pointing to his ring finger in the third quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's deflating. I like the sportsmanship afterwards too. You can hear them telling Boston not to be down on themselves because they can be back. But it's all going to depend on which way they go. I mean, They don't have a leader yet. They really don't. And I'm sorry, but Al Horford is not going to be the lights out shooter that he was next year.
Al Horford's getting on up there now. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it is what it is.
Yeah. If I'm not
That's
mistaken,
a wrap for the NBA season. Until next year. Well, the draft is coming up on the 23rd.
Thursday night.
Yeah. So. I have no idea who any of these guys are going to be, so I'm not going to go watch. You either, John? Yeah,
no.
Of course not, because they're slave driven, right?
Yeah.
They're
I like that curiosity. Being
driven by corporate entities.
Dude, I'm so it's so funny. Like as soon as the Raptors are gone, as soon as the Oilers are out, don't care about hockey.
It's all about football now, right, John?
It's football. That's all I've been listening to, podcasts, just like Bill's stuff. Like I listened to Sirius XM this past weekend, and a couple guys went over every single team in the AFC and the NFC and what like that's all I'm about. That's the only thing that's gonna make me survive this summer is having,
because right now it's going to be the dog days of summer between now and training camp.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because now that mini camps are over with, everybody's going to break for the summer, and we won't hear anything until the end of July.
I did catch a CFL game the other night.
Oh jeez, I'm sorry.
God.
Sorry, dude.
God, Ken.
Well,
it was on ESPN.
At least it wasn't
USFL.
At least it wasn't the USFL.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's what it is, man. If you want to see air attack, that's the CFL, man. Just throwing it, bombing it. That's it.
Ken, McCarthy got fined and the Cowboys lose 2 OTAs. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, what was that all about?
I have no idea. I still haven't heard what the fine was about. I mean, they keep saying, "Well, he did something
Violating
illegal."
practice rules is what
What
they're
did he
saying.
do illegal?
It's actually one OTA, not two. Sorry. Violating rules regarding off-season practices, according owner and general manager, docked an organized team activity for holding practices that were deemed too physical by the NFL.
Too physical. Wow.
And I'm happy to announce that Jaquiski Tartt has signed with the Philadelphia Eagles so he can drop interceptions for them. Wide open interceptions at that.
Yeah, and the Ron Rivera and the Commanders got the same fine in for their OTAs. What is too physical in OTAs? I don't understand.
I have no idea, because the day after their last practice, they went out to the driving range and hit golf balls for 2 days.
Could it be days where they're not supposed to, where they don't wear pads and stuff like that?
I have no idea. I don't live out in Frisco, so I really don't get to see them that often. And I'm as flummoxed as you guys are. I thought it was kind of strange that Rivera had to fork over $100,000 after he had just levied $100,000 on Jack Del Rio. So
right.
Del Rio's kind of sniggering about that a bit. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I do not get excited about OTAs. So.
Anybody seen the Saints' new helmets for next season?
Yeah, those black helmets. Those look sharp. I like them.
Don't they?
They wore those during the preseason, I believe, in it was 67 or 68. They wore them for one game, and that was it. And I thought they looked pretty sharp. You know, they look pretty sharp.
Well, they're gonna wear them for one game during the season. They're not gonna wear them the whole season. That's not.
They
should. They're probably about 2 or 3.
That's moving away from the Drew Brees, Sean Payton era.
Mm-hmm.
By just going black helmets. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that whole.
It looked pretty sharp to me.
I think so too. Especially, they should have like a gold uniform to go with those.
Yeah, the new helmet rule is going to allow several teams to bring back some classic throwbacks. So it means the Buccaneers can wear their creamsicles, and other teams, other teams can use old uniforms now. And it may be one game, it may be a couple of games, but it's not for the whole season for the Saints.
That's a bummer, dude.
Believe it or not, Ken, the creamsicles are very popular in Tampa. They love the old creamsicles.
They're ghastly.
Yeah, they love the old creamsicles.
They are hideous.
They are beyond hideous.
Okay.
Almost as bad as freaking Pittsburgh Steeler and
the Bumblebee uniforms.
Yeah, the Bumblebees.
The Bumblebees, and then the Packers when they wear that.
Steelers.
Oh yeah, the Acme Company or whatever. Fucking
Acme. It's the Acme Meat Packing Company, is what it was called.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I want to see the Steelers bring back the Batman uniforms they wore in the mid '60s.
Milwaukee.
They hated those, but we loved them.
Hey, big news, man! The Yankees finally lost the game today.
Yeah, to the Blue Jays, no less.
Wow.
Yes.
Who cares?
Blue Jays. I thought they were playing in Tampa Bay.
That today was the last game.
They just finished sweeping Tampa earlier in the week. They start a series with Tampa tomorrow, and then they host Houston over the weekend. 4 games set with the Astros. Yeah, the bullpen finally imploded, and to their defense, they put in guys that haven't really been pitching lately, like Miguel Castro. They put in Wandy Peralta. Those guys gave up a grand slam and a 3-run homer. Anthony Rizzo's hitting out of his mind right now. Every time he comes up, only thing is he couldn't pull it through in the ninth.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're still going to win 50 before they lose 20, but. I'm just saying.
Sounds like, yeah, here we go with baseball.
That's breaking news. Now we're only what, 12 games up on the second place team?
John doesn't care about baseball.
Of course he doesn't care. But you know what? He should, because his team is one of the 3 teams in the running for the wild card spot. You know what I'm saying?
Call me in August. I'll get excited then. It's very hard for me to get excited about a 3-game set against the Yankees in the middle of June. Like people were like, "Oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be 43,000 people at the Rogers Center in Toronto every game." It's like, I don't care. I don't matter.
See, right now, the Blue Jays have a 2-game lead for the number 1 wild card, followed by the Guardians and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Hey, the Guardians beat the Dodgers today. I'm happy.
Guardians. Like, who comes up with these names?
They're the Gindians.
They're the Indians.
Yeah, Ken calls them the Indians.
Oh, Millie.
They're the Guarindians.
Speaking of Rogers Center, I have a question for you, John.
Yes, sir.
Is Toronto planning on having their World Cup games at the Rogers Center or somewhere?
I hope not. I hope they build something new, but they won't. They'll probably stuff people in that.
You said they just ran out of plastic bags.
BMO's not going to be big enough to host a World Cup game, is it?
Was that, sorry?
BMO is not going to be big enough to host World Cup.
No, I
games,
think that's only about 20,000 for BMO.
Yeah.
So, but like the biggest snuff was this city getting no nod for the games, and I get it. I mean, Vancouver and Toronto, it's close to the U.S. border.
Yeah.
It's major cities, but Edmonton is a soccer city. I mean, you saw what happened when we played against Mexico for the World Cup qualifier. It was -10 out, and it was packed, and dudes are jumping into snowbanks.
When I saw they were in the running for it, I thought for sure they would get it because Edmonton had a great turnout for the Women's World Cup a few years ago.
Yep.
And,
it's Commonwealth is a sizable.
Yeah.
I think it's like 60,000 they can fit in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be minimal to upgrade it. Like you wouldn't need to build a brand new stadium. It would pump a ton of money into this city. But no, you know what we got though coming this summer. You know what's coming this summer to Edmonton? The Pope is coming. So we got the Catholic Church's father or whatever he's called. He's coming. He's coming.
Is he gonna have a meeting? Is he gonna have a one-on-one with McJesus?
He's going to have a one-on-one with all the Aboriginal tribes, and basically apologize for the residential schools that the Catholic Church is famous for here. So that's all the religion tonight. Scott, don't worry, we'll go with it.
I had not heard about that.
Yeah, we traded the World Cup for the Pope.
I don't think it's a fair trade, John.
No, it's not at all. No, it's awful. But yeah, Vancouver, obviously, Vancouver is just an amazing place. Toronto is just Toronto, so you knew that was going to be. Yeah, that's the 2 Canadian spots. What's in America? Chicago is opening ceremonies, right?
No, Chicago didn't. Chicago did not even apply.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
Oh, so what are the cities?
I think there's Miami and LA are 1 or 2.
Okay,
They
Seattle.
don't want nobody to get shot. That's why.
Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Kansas City, which amazes me. I cannot believe that. Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, and
Holy crap.
Miami.
So you have like 10, and we have 2. I mean, I get the population distribution.
Mexico has 3.
And Mexico's got 3. It's got Mexico City and
Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey. So,
I mean,
once again, Canada gets screwed.
Hey,
we don't have the population. That's what they'll say. We don't have the population, but Edmonton's bigger than Kansas City.
I would have had Edmonton in place of Kansas City because Kansas City's stadium is old. Arrowhead Stadium is a joke. The fact that they think it's the loudest stadium in the world only impounds that status because I can guarantee you the Superdome is louder than Arrowhead Stadium. And so is Seattle.
Seattle, I think, is the loudest, right?
Seattle and New Orleans, because New Orleans, you're in a dome, so there's nowhere for the sound to go.
What are we, chopped liver? Have you heard the smashing of the tin seats in the upper deck bowl of the Ralph? Okay, Like that
Oh,
is
yeah,
loud as
hey.
hell. You've
That's
never
right.
heard
I give you
it's
that.
like
Yeah, absolutely.
smashing of those old tin
Absolutely,
seats
yeah.
that are freezing cold because of the
There are-
lake effect.
There are
Ugh.
dozens of stadiums that are louder than Arrowheads.
Yeah, well, Kansas City's. Oh, sorry, is Brett here? I don't care if he
Nope.
is.
Brett,
That's the shape of
stadium
the
sucks,
stadium. that
okay?
makes- It's the shape of the stadium that makes the sound reverberate through it.
Makes me regurgitate.
yeah.
So you're now a Kansas City hater, huh?
I just do that. Anything, any team. I just can't stand them.
I don't hate them, but I just don't.
I don't hate them, but I just
Far
like,
from my
God, they're
favorite
annoying.
team.
Like none of these diehard Kansas City fans were diehard Kansas City fans until their team starts winning. That's what pisses me off.
Exactly.
See, there's
When their
people
team
like
sucks,
the
they're
Browns,
nowhere to be seen.
right? Salute the Browns. Cowboys, win or lose, salute them. But 49ers fans, win or lose, salute them. But there's like Kansas City, really? Like do people really care if they weren't winning?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Frisco
Care that
fan
much, and they were 6 and 10.
since Montana's rookie year. I've been a San Francisco fan,
Anyways.
and that was ages ago.
1979, I believe, was his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
40 plus years, man.
Hmm.
I was just a wee youngster back then.
A wee youngin.
Well, yeah, nobody cared about Kansas City in the 80s and 90s when they were
Fuck
winning.
no. They cared
Well,
about
they were
Kansas
winning. They were winning.
2010s.
7, 8, 9. They were winning. Actually, there was a couple of good years they had with the Nigerian Nightmare, and when Montana was playing with them in the 90s. But for the most part,
those years were gimmicky.
until Mahomes got there, they've been pretty much the doormat of the AFC West.
Exactly.
Now the hill is gone. I don't know, man. I think they changed it.
Yeah, Juju ain't it, man.
No.
Juju ain't it.
And neither is MVS.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in for a rude awakening, man. Because they'll just
Those
double
are-
team Kelsey.
They're not the cheetah. I can tell you that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, they'll double team
They're
Kelsey.
going to double team Kelsey, and nobody else is going to get open. So
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Right.
I can't wait.
Anyway.
Can't wait.
Juju had a chance to be the man in Pittsburgh. He blew that shit.
he couldn't even be that in Pittsburgh.
MVS couldn't be the man in Green Bay. That's why they let him go, even though they got rid of Devontae Adams.
Who they got? Sammy Watkins now. That's it. In
Yep.
Green Bay.
Sammy Watkins and Alan Lazard.
Lazar.
Those are-
Alan Lazard, yeah.
I think they drafted a wide receiver in like the third round too.
Yeah, they drafted a wide receiver in the second round,
Second
actually.
round.
I think it was the second pick of the second round or something like that. No, the third pick, right after the Jets picked up Hill or Hall, whatever his name is, Brees.
Yeah.
But they traded up for that pick too,
Yeah.
because I guess they felt the reverberation of not picking a wide receiver in the first round. So they heard the noise being made. So, shall we discuss the elephant in the room since Ron hasn't arrived yet?
He hasn't responded.
Oh, the dismantling of the dynasty.
Yeah, the potential dismantling of a dynasty.
Oh, I
Hey,
I had some hope after game one because they took him to overtime, but that debacle of last night was just. I mean,
Can I be honest?
At what point did you quit watching?
I didn't even watch. To be honest, I didn't watch.
Diehard fan, I see. Perfect.
Yeah, well,
I quit when it was 4-0. When I woke up and it said 7-0, holy shit! It was worse than
I was watching Ken's play-by-play. Touchdown! They converted it.
But
the extra point is
here's
good.
the thing: even game one, okay. Even though they came back, it was like, honestly, Colorado looks like the much faster,
Yep.
the much fresher,
Uh-huh.
the much aggressive. I mean, Tampa doesn't even look like they belong on the same
At
rink.
one point during the game, Colorado had more goals than Tampa Bay had shots on goal.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
First period.
In the first period, they had three goals,
and Tampa Bay had 2.
Well, if it wasn't for the last minute where they put up a couple of 2 or 3 shots or whatever, they would have been outscored. The score, they would have had more goals than Tampa Bay had shots. And they did up until the first 19 minutes. They had more goals. And not to mention, they've scored 6 goals in the first period in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
That's a plus 5. That's a plus 5 in the first period.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, or should I say that's a negative 5 for Tampa. And they were a plus 5 going into this series.
Yeah.
In the first period.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, it just doesn't look like, and I know Scott's probably in the back of his mind going, oh, well, we've played so many games over the last 2 years. We're starting to get tired, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Colorado has shown in these playoffs that there's just a gear that they play in that's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, Katie sent me a chat. She asked me if the Avs were that good or if home ice means that much, and I said that the Avs are that good. They are. They're just that good. I mean,
they did what I said they needed.
They've been the best team in the NHL the entire season. They've been the best team in the league the entire season. And
but you think about it, they even got outshot in that game, 28-26.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky gave up 7 goals and 26 shots.
Yeah, I know. He had a. I mean, Stammer was quick to blame the rest of the guys, and it wasn't Vasky's fault that they failed him. I don't know. I mean, the guy's the best goalie in the world, in my opinion, and he just had a bad night. But tomorrow night we'll see. They're in Tampa. We'll see if they can bounce back. Stammer said himself. He said, "We'll see what we're made of."
If they don't win tomorrow night, it's serious.
Well, if they don't win tomorrow night, they're going to get swept. If they don't win tomorrow night, they're going to get swept.
Right.
So they have to come out tomorrow night and really want it and really go after it and try to get back on track. And
again,
they've come down. They've won with being down 2-0 before with the Rangers, so it's not over yet.
The only difference I see is that none of the other teams that they've played so far in the playoffs have shown the type of speed that Colorado has.
Exactly.
I mean, when they get that puck on their sticks, they're like fucking lightning going down there. No pun intended. Yeah. They're like freaking lightning going down the ice.
I haven't seen a team this fast in a long time.
They are fast, and it's hard to keep up with a pace like that. Because they don't need a whole lot of shots.
Nope.
They showed that yesterday. 26 shots, 7 goals. Wow, Tampa's up against it.
A YouTube commenter. How about that one?
NBA equals WWE equals NFL.
I have no idea what he means.
I have no idea
what that means.
Speaking of WWE, have you guys heard the scandal about Vince McMahon?
All sports you can bet on are rigged. I don't think so, JT. What about Vince McMahon?
Yeah. Have you guys heard the news about him and his scandal?
He paid off somebody $300,000 for
$3 million.
$3 million. He paid
hush money.
Hush money.
For what? What did he do?
He had an affair with an ex-WWE employee.
Oh.
Him and John Laurinaitis, who is the president of personnel of the talent in WWE.
This is supposedly back in the 90s, though, right? Is that what this is?
They paid this person $3 million to hush money, okay, which goes against all policies of whatever. All right. And bottom line is the board of directors forced him out. He's no longer the CEO.
Yeah, Stephanie took over.
Stephanie's taken over. And quite frankly, honestly, totally honest, as a WWE fan, I'm glad to see it because the WWE has been a trash product in recent years, all because of Vince McMahon. He's alienated his family. He's alienated anyone and everyone who can make this company as big and as good as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But his ego won't allow him okay, to let anybody else run things. Well, guess what? He just ran himself literally out of a job.
I'm sure his billions of dollars are keeping him safe at night, crying.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. But here's the thing. When you have an ego the size of Vince McMahon and you get humbled, I don't give a shit how much money you got. When your ego is no longer able to override what you've done, I'm sorry, Vince McMahon is used to getting his way and getting away with everything. Come on, he was in a federal investigation years ago for steroids.
For steroids, yes.
And all that shit, and he fucking skated on that. Okay? He's dodged bullets left and right. Why? Because of those billions of dollars. But now, look, the WWE was losing money just a few years ago. They were losing money. They were on the verge of collapse.
Yeah.
Because he just wasn't putting out. And then he's letting all this talent. He doesn't want to pay. He pays $3 million to shut somebody up for having sex with him, but he's not willing to pay the up-and-coming talent to stick around. And they're winding up in other organizations making them better. AEW's picked up so many WWE cuts. You know what I'm saying?
And they just released Sasha Banks.
Yeah, and she's going to wind up at AEW as well.
I mean, Sasha Banks was a headliner for them for years.
Dude, she was big. She was in TV shows and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, she's also Snoop Dogg's niece.
Yeah, I know. So
what network is showing AEW?
AEW is on TBS and TNT.
Okay.
TBS on Fridays and TNT on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Dynamite and Rampage. Unfortunately, because they don't have their own network like WWE, they're still charging the $60 for pay-per-views, which I will not pay. But you know, when they start bringing in talent like CM Punk and guys like that, when those guys were rejected by Vince McMahon, you know, it just goes to show you Vince's acumen for business has been compromised.
Well, it's not what it was back.
He's senile. That's why.
Yeah, well, he's in his late 70s.
I think those steroids finally catching up with him, man.
Yep.
They shrivel that nugget he calls a brain. But anyway, that was my quick plug for the
that's the WWE segment for the
WWE segment of breaking news.
Well, I'm just waiting for people to start talking about the Joe Biden stumble yesterday. I mean, that was that was sports news.
About that.
No, wasn't funny. I thought it was funny. No.
Well, he thought it was funny too, but he's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
he laughed about it.
He had a senior moment. What do you know? I'd probably fall off a bike too at my age. Shit, I won't even get a bike. I won't even get on a bike.
You've never fallen off a bike before. You've never ridden one before.
Exactly.
I don't ride bikes because I'm afraid of falling off the motherfucker.
I was 8 or 9 years old. I still got a scar on my chin from doing a somersault over the handlebars of my bike when I was a kid.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, everybody falls off their bike. Give me a break.
And I mean, at his age,
if Donald Trump did it, you guys would be clowning the crap out of it, and you know it. And don't say otherwise.
But here's the thing: Donald Trump's fat ass doesn't know what the fuck a bicycle looks like.
See, that's what I see. See,
okay.
If it was Trump,
I'm just saying. At least Biden gets on a bike. Donald Trump ain't never seen a fucking bicycle that he would accept in his life.
Yeah. So,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's not go there.
No, you know what? Again, he had a senior moment. He fell down. People had fun with it. Let's move on. You know?
You guys took that really serious. I was like joking around. You guys are like, you just had a senior moment. Don't say anything about Joe Biden's a great. It's just joking around, man.
I mean, it was like when people gave Al Gore and Bill Clinton shit about wearing hoochie cutters when they were fucking jogging in the 80s, back when they were president and vice
in the
president.
90s, yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah, coochie cutters. They had them freaking
The hell are
the
coochie
real shorts on.
Like,
Oh,
Oh, the shorts, the
Remember
shorts,
the old NBA shorts?
old school
The real
NBA
old
shorts.
Oh,
NBA
the, old-
shorts?
the Jackie Moon shorts. Okay, gotcha. All right.
There's Clark.
Exactly. Thank you, Clark. We're waiting for you, Clark. Yeah, I know the Boston slamming was going on earlier today, man. I would have stuck up for you,
No,
but
when's that parade, by the way? I know you had tickets.
Hey, Clarky. Good to see you, buddy.
poor Clarky. I'm sure he's dude. You can't. Yeah, as much as all of us are raving Boston fans. Well, Ken is. Like, they've had a really good kind of 20 years here. Like the past 20 years, being a Boston fan, sports fan, hasn't been hard.
Mhm.
Let's be clear. The only Boston team Ken likes are the Red Sox. No other,
Right.
He's not. He's
Red
not a
Sox
fan
and
of any other.
Bruins. I can tolerate the Patriots. Taking
But
their
most
lead.
of it was
Only the
most
Celtics
of
I
it.
don't
You got to
like.
admit, most of it was the Patriots.
No, it's the Celtics and the Bruins had a good couple, and then
Bruins
the
have had a
Red Sox
really good
finally
run.
getting over the curse. I mean, yeah, it was the Patriots, but they had a dynasty, but it wasn't.
They've been competitive in championship, form.
All sports,
for
all
the
Big
last 2
Four,
decades,
right?
Yeah.
2 decades. It's like Boston. Like I think there was a span there where they went like maybe 1 year without a certain.
That's more
Yeah,
than I
it's
can
been 3
say about
years since the last title. Like, they've suffered.
Even Clarky laughed at that one.
But that was the running joke. Like, oh, it's been a year since a Boston team's won something. But they endured the suffering of the curse of the Bambino, and then as soon as and then Brady kind of came as
Well, hell, Boston teams outside maybe the Celtics in the 70s, 80s, and 90s were horrid.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
The Bruins were good. They didn't win. They only won a couple of cups, right? In the early
They
80s.
won 70 and 72. And that was it until their last one in 20.
That sounds like the New York Knicks.
They won in the 2000s, right, Ken?
Do what?
They won in the 2000s, the Bruins.
2000?
I'm asking.
No,
I'm asking
2010. Yeah.
2010.
2010. Yeah. It's recent, not recent, but it's like.
Almost 10 years.
Celtics won in 2009, I believe.
Yep.
2008. And then
Yep.
Sox in 4, 7,
04.
13, and 18.
Yeah, the only contribution I can make to NBA basketball from New York is throwing much shade at the Brooklyn Nets. That's all I can do because the Knicks they're not there. I don't see them being there anytime soon.
The Nets have not won anything since the New York Nets won the last ABA title, I believe.
Exactly, because they couldn't get it done in the cesspool either, the colostomy bag that is New Jersey.
You're a New Yorker, so you're allowed to say that. We can't say a single thing. What the heck is this? I'm sure they're going, why do I have this thing?
As a New Yorker, yes, that's exactly how we
Yes.
The cesspool of New Jersey.
We will be sure that
colostomy
Tony
bag
Soprano
of New York.
will hear that. So.
The colostomy bag of New York is New Jersey. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's what I noticed. Like when I used to go down to the Bronx and like Westchester back in the day, and all of my friends down there used to smack talk the crap out of the Giants and the Jets. They hated it. It was always the Cowboys. They loved the Cowboys. They hated the Jets. They made fun of it. Oh, it's a freaking toxic waste dump, New Jersey. They shouldn't even have football teams. Why they don't should put it in Manhattan? Like they hated it. They couldn't stand the Giants and the Jets. So
Well, for many years they said that what's his name, John Gotti was buried under Giant Stadium.
No,
No, it wasn't John Gotti. It was Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Hoffa.
Hoffa. There you go.
Jimmy Hoffa.
It was Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, they said he was buried under Giant Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, we know. Yeah,
We know Clarky.
We know
Are you
Clark.
know? Really?
I'll tell you
Where-
what.
He's a Yankees fan.
he's a Yankees fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
We know
Wow.
he's a closet Red Sox fan. So
He roots for everything else Boston except for baseball.
yeah,
Wow. And he's in like Rhode Island or something, isn't he? Like in New England, like.
Rhode Island, I believe. Yeah,
In Rhode Island?
Ken,
New
where's he at?
New Hampshire,
I think he's
Rhode
in Rhode
Island.
Island.
Rhode Island.
Narragansett.
Up in the east.
I love Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a beautiful state.
I tell you what, one of the most surreal feelings I've ever had was I was with an acquaintance. We were driving through New Jersey in the middle of the night and drove by. We were drove by on the highway Lakehurst, and we drove by the field where the Hindenburg crashed. And seeing that in the middle of the night is a pretty surreal feeling.
Hey,
Oh,
Clarky,
the
we got
humanity?
something.
Sorry?
Oh, the
Oh, the
humanity.
humanity, yes.
Yeah.
Clarky, we got something in common. My dad was a diehard Yankee fan too. As a matter of fact, my dad was a Yankee fan back in the days when the Dodgers were in Brooklyn. And everybody in his family was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan except for my dad. He was the black sheep as far as baseball fans in the family were concerned. But he always used to get the last laugh because
Yankees always beat the Dodgers.
that's why they moved.
Yeah.
That's why they
Always
left
beat 'em
Brooklyn. Hopefully the Nets will get that same picture one day.
Well, I don't think they'll be the LA Nets because there's already 2 teams in LA, but that's okay.
They can go back to Jersey.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, DiMaggio. Yeah. Who didn't love Joe?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
but-
said you wore a Mickey Mantle shirt to Fenway Park, right?
You got respect. He did that last week.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that you know what? If anything, Boston fans are cognitive of
Of history.
Yankee legends.
Mm,
They're
yeah.
very respectful of Yankee legends.
We respect the hell out of history.
Why? Because they sold us one.
Like 100 years later, it still hurts.
Oh, pour salt. That wound is still wide open. You got to pour more salt in it?
It'll never go
Yeah.
away.
But okay, so Ken
Keep
explain this
opening it
to
up
me.
and pouring more salt in it.
You're down in Texas. Why did you become a Red Sox fan? Explain this to me. I understand the flip flop
I have-
that is Scott.
Have you
But,
seen Texas baseball teams?
I
Well,
have,
but I'm just saying.
Back in
I
the
mean,
day?
it's just
I have-
it's one of the. I'm just curious because
I,
like I didn't
I've
have another.
always-
I was from
I've
Toronto.
always had
so
an
I
affinity
cheer
for
Blue
the
Jays.
underdog, and the Red Sox were underdogs for years and years, and I always had a
Look.
feeling, an affinity for
Look.
them.
The reason
I rooted for them. I actually became a kind of a Red Sox fan in '75. During the World
right,
Series,
and how good were teams in Texas in '75?
they were not very good at all.
They were not good at all, right?
But
Well, you know
Texas-
what?
I mean,
I'm a 49ers fan because during the days when I became a football fan, both New York teams were pathetic. I remember the first
Well,
time
the Giants and the Jets were so bad in the 70s, it
Look,
wasn't
when
fun.
I saw, the 17-point Giants,
Yes.
17 points a game.
Yeah. How about the
and
Miracle in the
prevent- and the
Meadowlands?
prevent defense
Mhm.
that always used to lose them games.
How about the Miracle in the Meadowlands against the Eagles?
The Pisarcik fumble.
Yeah, yes.
I remember that too. But that's the reason I became a Niners fan, is because there wasn't anything to speak of as far as football in New York. So I'm pretty sure that Ken kind of felt the same way. He found something that he
more or
could
less, yes.
relate with.
Well, the reason I kind of pushed away from the Rangers was number one, the stupid ass A-Rod deal.
Are they still
Number
paying
two-
A-Rod for that deal?
Do what?
Are they still paying A-Rod for that deal?
They may be. I don't know. Number two, they sold out my part of town because they had agreed to make a Little League facility for kids in East Arlington over here, and they reneged on that. And I did a story actually on that about 3 or 4 years ago. And the place that they were supposed to build it is, I don't think there's been 20 games played there, and now it's covered up in fire mounds and dead grass, and they just let that one go. And so, and as a result, baseball has kind of taken a back seat to soccer in this part of town. And the high school I went to, their baseball team is horrid. and it's pretty much a lot because of that. And so that was another reason that I pushed away
All right,
from
Ken,
Rangers.
let me ask you this. You said you became a Red Sox fan in the mid 70s.
1970s. Yeah.
Okay. How much of that had to do with the fact that they were always battling the Yankees during those years? And I know that your affinity for the Yankees is 0 or negative.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of grow into that. I mean, it was as a Ranger fan. I mean, I've never been a Yankees fan.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I mean,
So
with
the
Red
only
Sox,
team that
it's
really
natural to have
the
a
only
natural
team that
rivalry.
really got under the Yankees' skin was the Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
Especially
Well,
Yankees
it's
fans.
a New York thing because I mean we didn't like losing to the Mets in '86. I mean it was just
Oh, I remember
I mean,
that.
it was-
Oh, my
Yeah,
God, that
Bill
was
Buckner,
I mean,
anyone?
yeah.
Bill Buckner.
So yeah,
I just
I was
I
working
just
at
became a fan
Domino's.
of proximity.
it's a
I
typical
was working
Boston
at
New York
Domino's.
rivalry.
At the time, I was a manager for Domino's Pizza, and I had brought in a TV to watch that game, and all the guys were giving me shit because I was rooting for the Mets, and the Mets were losing, and they were down to their final out, and I'm like, oh, fuck, now I got to deal with these. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 the Mets win. I'm like, what? I tell you what, it was nice to work the rest of that night. It was going to be a long freaking night if the Mets had lost. But then they came back the next night, and they did the Red Sox in.
The next night was a Monday night, and I watched the Monday night football game. I did not watch Game 7 because I could see the handwriting on the wall.
The writing on the wall, yeah,
Writing was
exactly.
on the wall.
Rex, hey, you know what? It's a mutual hatred back and forth. I mean, the chant in just as much it is in Boston, Yankees suck, Red Sox suck.
Yeah,
Boston sucks was the fucking chant in Yankee Stadium. The only thing is I can't remember anyone getting killed or seriously injured from the other team, like the San Francisco
Giants and the
fans,
Dodgers.
the stadium, and
Right.
the Tampa fan that got clocked last week in
Mm-hmm. That was.
But you know, hey, just to put a final note on that Tampa Lightning fan situation. Look, you have to understand a New Yorker. Even I think that guy would have fucking knocked out his best friend if he was talking shit to him.
See, that goes back to what I said a couple of weeks
That's how
ago.
New Yorkers are, man. Don't talk shit to me when we just lost, motherfucker.
I guarantee you, if that had been a Rangers Flyers playoff game, and that Rangers fan had cold cocked a Flyers fan, I guarantee you there would have been a riot in that
If
court.
there were enough other
122
Flyers
fans
fans
around,
around,
Flyers
yeah.
fans would have come out of the woodwork, and you
But
would
that's
have had
because
a
Flyers
fierce
fans-
brawl.
You have to remember too that Flyers fans, what was it, an hour and a half drive to Madison Square Garden?
Mm-hmm.
So they can get as many fans in there as any
That's
other
right.
team. And yeah, it would have been a Pier 6 brawl. You're right.
I've seen some fights in the upper deck of there in Madison Square Garden between Rangers and Flyers fans.
What did Jim Ross in wrestling? It's gonna be a slobber knocker.
It's gonna be a slobber knocker. That's right. And those are typical Philadelphia fans. That's why I call them filthy Philadelphia, because
Yeah.
they do that in all sports, especially the Eagles fans.
Did you see the Eagles' bland new?
Yeah,
logo?
That's going to be their new logo.
that's going to be the
Yeah.
new logo. I actually don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's
I don't
it's
know.
plain
Dude. The
Jane,
other
but
one at least has
so
some
what?
flash to it.
yeah,
It's like really Philly
That's
and
right.
simple. And I never seen Philly as a simple vanilla type
yeah.
organization.
I mean,
But
I got no
to
problem
each his
with
own,
it.
I guess. I mean, everybody's giving shit to the freaking Broncos now that they're owned by Walmart and shit.
Yeah,
What they call it, Great Value Stadium now?
Sam's best stadium.
yeah. And once AT&T deal falls out, we're going to call it Comedy Central Stadium.
Oh, you mean the corporation that the
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys are associated with?
Yes, I saw that.
Hey, look, you know what? If the
Stayed
meme
up all night long putting that meme together, didn't they?
No,
here's people be saying, don't put up so many memes. Well, you know what? If the memes fit, post them. But I say,
Whatever.
because I'll put up a meme about my own team if it's funny enough.
All right, John, you gonna take off?
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go beat daddy.
You got to go be daddy and take your wallet
He
with
did.
you.
Yeah, I gotta go pay for everything.
What kind of restaurant are they taking you to?
Yeah, what probably the most expensive one, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
If it was up to me, I'd say let's go to McDonald's, get a burger, and call it a day. No,
I don't think you eat that stuff anymore, John.
Give me a
I eat
swirl
lettuce
cone,
wrap.
I'm good.
Okay.
lettuce wrap burgers.
So
No
there will not
carbs.
be a steak tonight?
Oh, I'll do steak. Oh yeah, I'm paying. Maybe not. Maybe yeah.
Maybe not. Buy a steak on the way home.
Just for me. Yeah.
Exactly.
You.
So next week
Got
you
you.
can give a crap about the Lightning losing this
Treat
Stanley Cup
yourself to
final.
a real Father's Day dinner.
Gentlemen, always a pleasure talking baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we
You want
really
the video, John?
I'd love the video, please.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll send you the video.
Happy Father's Day, John.
Hey, I don't think
John.
we're gonna be too far behind, John, and
Yeah, we won't be too far behind you.
getting off the air. So
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, jeez. Well, I guess Ron's not going to show up. He hasn't responded to me, so.
Okay.
yeah, I think Ron might be stunned over that 7-0 game last night.
Yeah. Well, he's not the only one. But anyway, what else we got going on tonight, guys? I do want to reiterate something John said a couple weeks ago. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is phenomenal. It's the new Paramount Plus series that takes place during the Christopher Pike years, and it's an excellent series if you guys want to watch it.
I canceled my Paramount Plus account this week.
Oh, did you?
I
They,
kept
uh,
mine because
they
I
would
was
not-
watching
They
Offer.
would not accept my password, and as many times they changed it, and they still wouldn't do it. I said, "Fuck them," so
I got you.
I canceled it.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
mine off of Prime. I get mine through Prime Video. So
I watched The Offer, that 10 episode series about how The Godfather got made.
yeah,
It was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
but they're doing really good with Star Trek, and the Obi-Wan series is good too on Disney Plus. So I'm really enjoying those.
Hey, I don't watch Disney Plus a whole lot. I'm not into too much. It's like we went to see Jurassic World today.
Yeah.
I'm not ever going to be able to get that 3 hours back in my life.
Was it that bad? I've heard really bad things about that.
I did not like it. I think if you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
You know, the dinosaurs are bigger and faster, and them escaping death is even more outlandish than ever before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really.
Not even nostalgia with bringing the old cast back together.
No, not even that, dude. Not even that. Matter of fact, give me Top Gun Maverick over.
Oh, Maverick was great. It was great. I loved it.
I haven't seen it yet. I want.
Oh
I
my
kinda
God.
want to see
And get to a freaking theater and see that movie before it comes off the big screen,
that. Yeah.
because you'll be depriving yourself if you don't. I'm again. I just couldn't get into it. I did the best I could to stay awake, which I did pretty much throughout
Yeah.
the whole movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there for me. It just wasn't. I didn't connect with it. Let's put it that way. I couldn't understand how half the crowd in the freaking in the theater applauded it afterwards. I was like, did you guys watch the same shit I watched? Because I didn't think it was that good. You know what I mean? But now you got this other one coming up, which I saw the previews and I was laughing my ass off. Me and my cousin Aaron, we were talking about the emasculation of Thor.
I've seen that.
in this
I've seen-
Love and Thunder movie
Seen
that's coming out.
previews of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a total emasculation of what Thor is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be like the alpha male? You know what I'm saying? And he's just basically,
Who is it they've got playing Thor?
I forget.
Oh
his
no,
name.
Chris Hemsworth's back. He's playing. He's playing.
Yeah.
Well,
He's in
English
it.
Chris
guy.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, but
There's a one.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's,
he's acquiescing to a woman.
it's his ex girlfriend. It's
Mhm.
crap. Why now? You gotta do it to me.
Yeah. I'm blank too.
I don't usually watch Marvel movies anyway, so that's going to be one that must
Natalie Portman.
that
Natalie
Mariana
Portman.
and Crystal go
Yeah.
and watch. But
Yeah.
honestly, my interpretation of what Thor is the golden locks giving him all these ultimate
Mhm.
powers, and he's supposed to be like the man.
The Hammer of Thor.
It just looks like a joke, is what it looks like to me.
There's
I'd rather see
nothing very original in Hollywood anymore.
No. Mm-mm.
Hasn't
not-
been in years.
There's nothing these days. Come on, man. These generations have softened up everything and really just totally obliterated the fabric of what entertainment used to be on all levels: music, movies, TV. You know, reality TV really started all this fucking downfall.
Yeah, I agree. I don't watch reality TV.
The only reality TV show I watch is America's Got Talent. But why? Because the reality of what some of those people go on there and do is fucking amazing. The talent is
Like
ridiculous.
crazy too.
Yeah. It's fucking amazing. And crazy and death-defying at times. You know what I'm saying? But for me to watch Hell's Kitchen or Bachelor or Bachelorette or any of that bullshit,
Nope.
and that's what started the whole fucking downfall. They don't have good sitcoms the way they used to either.
That's where I'm glad that ABC's bringing back Monday Night Football next year, so they'll wipe out The Bachelor and Bachelorette and get rid of it.
Is it going to be an ABC or is it just
It's
ESPN?
supposed to be both. I think it's supposed to be both. So,
Well, yeah, because they don't want the Bachelor crowd being drawn away from.
Well,
ESPN.
plus the fact that
Plus
Joe
that on
Buck
Tuesday
and Buckman and Aikman are doing Monday Night Football, that might be the reason why they might be putting on
could
ABC.
be.
Hey Jamal, you're just coming
Hey,
up.
Jamal, you just in time for us to say goodbye, yo.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get out of here, guy. Yeah.
And we're going to give Jamal a complex every time he shows up. We're about to sign off.
He'll be all right. Jamal will get over it.
All right, fellas, we're going to wrap it up.
Need to take a break earlier at work.
Yep. I got nothing going on anymore this week. Real quick, we didn't do it live on the show. We did it in the pre-show. But congratulations to Matthew Fitzpatrick, the 2022 U.S. Open champion, in an epic 18 holes today. Today's final round was one for the ages, and it was fun to watch. I know Elliot doesn't watch golf and John doesn't watch golf, but Ken and I enjoy it. And it was a great last round today. The final round was just phenomenal.
Tune in next Sunday as Scott will either be discussing Game 6 of the NHL Finals coming up, or he will be discussing the demise of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes, that's the truth.
I would not count there being a Game 6.
Yes. Yeah, there may not be a Game 6. Anyway, we're going to get out of here for another week. On behalf of my co-host, Ken Casso, Elliot Lamba, and, of course, John Olson, I am the sports nerd, Scott Wright, and we are out for another week. Elliot, hit the outro, please.
Nerd Nation, another Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still alive to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our host, Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright, John Olson, Ken Coslow, two of our local members in the Brand Pack, and yes, me, Big E, the entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk that we have today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for heaven's sake, please wear a blessed mask. You all just got hit with a pack rant from the Rank Pack. And with that, fellas, we are out.